Leo Weekly Guide: What to Push, What to Pause. This week holds a turning point that most Leos will completely miss, unless you know exactly where to push forward and where to hold still. And that is what this guide is built to show you. Right now, you might be feeling a quiet tension inside your chest. Not panic, not fear, something more like restlessness. Like you know something needs to change, but you are not sure which move to make first. Maybe you have been working hard and seeing very little in return. Maybe relationships feel heavier than they should. Maybe you wake up in the morning with energy, but by noon, that fire has faded into frustration. If any of that sounds familiar, you are exactly where you need to be right now. Because this week is not about doing more. It is about doing the right things and stopping the ones that drain you. The energy around your sign this week is sharp. It rewards precision. It punishes hesitation disguised as patience, and it opens doors for those who are willing to walk through them without waiting for a guarantee. So stay with me through every single tip in this guide. Each one builds on the last, and by the end you will have a clear map of what deserves your effort and what needs to be released. Let us begin. Tip 1. Push forward with your morning decisions. There is a reason this week starts with your mornings. Because what you do in the first 60 minutes after waking up is going to set the direction for everything else. And right now, the energy around Leo is amplifying habits. That means good habits will produce stronger results than usual. But it also means bad habits will dig deeper grooves. So let me be direct with you. If you have been starting your days by scrolling through your phone, checking messages, reading things that make you anxious, this is the week to stop. Not because those things are evil, but because your mind is unusually absorbent right now. Whatever you feed it first thing in the morning will color the rest of your day. Instead, push forward with intention. Before you pick up that phone, sit for just 2 minutes and ask yourself one question. What is the single most important thing I need to protect today? Not accomplish, protect. Because Leos tend to focus on achievement. You want to build, to shine, to move mountains. But this week, the real power is in protection. Protecting your peace. Protecting your energy, protecting your focus from the dozens of distractions that will try to steal it before lunch. Here is what I want you to understand. The universe does not always reward the loudest roar. Sometimes it rewards the lion who sits still and watches before acting. And this week is one of those times. Your mornings are sacred ground right now. Treat them that way. Wake up and decide before the world tells you what to care about, what actually matters to you. Write it down if you need to. Speak it out loud. But make that decision before anything else. I have seen so many Leos lose incredible weeks because they gave away their morning power. They let someone else's emergency become their priority. They let a notification pull them away from their own plan. And by the time they realized it, the day was already shaped by someone else's agenda. Not this week. This week you shape the day. You decide what gets your first energy. And you guard that decision like it is the most valuable thing you own. Because right now it is. The shift is small but the impact is enormous. When you begin your day from a place of chosen focus rather than reactive scrambling, everything downstream changes. Your conversations are calmer. Your decisions are clearer. Your confidence grows not from external validation but from the quiet knowledge that you started on your terms. That is what pushing forward looks like this week. It does not start with a grand gesture. It starts with a single deliberate morning. And if you have tried this before and failed, hear me clearly. This is not the same energy. What is available to you this week is different. The alignment around your sign is creating a window where new patterns stick faster than usual. So even if morning routines have never worked for you in the past, try again now. Give yourself 7 days. Just 7. And watch what shifts. You might be surprised at how quickly the rest of your life begins to reorganize itself around that one quiet decision you make before the sun is fully up. Tip 2. Pause the need to explain yourself. This one might sting a little, but it is medicine you need right now. Leos are generous communicators. You want people to understand you. You want them to see your heart, your logic, your intentions. And that is a beautiful quality. Most of the time. But this week, that desire to be understood is going to cost you if you do not rein it in. Here is what is happening energetically. The people around you are processing their own storms right now. They are distracted, overwhelmed, or caught up in their own narratives. And when you try to explain yourself to someone who is not in a place to truly hear you, two things happen. First, you waste energy that could be spent on creation, on rest, on moving forward. Second, you start to feel unseen, which triggers frustration, which leads to more explaining, which leads to more frustration. It becomes a cycle that drains you dry. So this week, pause. Not forever, just for now. If someone misreads your intentions, let it sit. If someone does not respond the way you hoped, resist the urge to send a follow-up message clarifying what you meant. If someone seems distant, do not chase them with explanations. This is not about being cold. It is about being wise. There is a difference between silence born from fear and silence born from strength. Fear-based silence hides. Strength-based silence trusts. And this week, I am asking you to trust that the right people will understand you without a presentation. The right people already see your heart. They do not need a speech. And the wrong people, well, no amount of explaining will change their mind anyway. I know this is hard for you. Leos carry a deep need to be recognized and appreciated. When someone misunderstands you, it feels personal. Feels like a failure of connection. But what if the real failure is spending so much energy trying to connect with someone who is not available for connection right now? What if the bravest thing you can do this week is let people have their opinions and walk your path anyway? There is power in being misunderstood and choosing peace over correction. Not because you are weak, but because your energy is too valuable to spend on battles that do not move you forward. Save your words for the people who lean in when you speak. Save your explanations for the conversations where both sides are actually listening. And for everything else, let your actions speak. They always have. And this week, they will speak louder than ever. This does not mean you shut everyone out. It means you become selective. You choose where your voice goes. You choose who receives the gift of your vulnerability. And you stop handing it to people who have not earned it. That pause. That moment of choosing silence instead of defense. That is one of the most powerful things a Leo can do. And this week, it will free up more energy than you can imagine. If what you're hearing feels accurate, imagine what could happen if you applied this energy intentionally for 21 consecutive days. That's exactly what the 21-day program in the pinned comment is built for. Daily guidance, focused direction, and real momentum. If you're tired of staying in the same cycle, this is your structure. Tip 3. Push forward with one financial decision you have been avoiding. Money is not just currency. For Leos, money represents freedom, security, and the ability to be generous. And right now, there is a financial decision sitting in the back of your mind that you have been putting off. Maybe it is a conversation about shared expenses. Maybe it is canceling a subscription you do not use. Maybe it is finally looking at your savings and making a realistic plan. Whatever it is, this is the week to face it. The energy around your financial sector is unusually clear right now. That fog of uncertainty that usually makes money decisions feel overwhelming. It is thinner this week. You can see through it. And if you act while that clarity is present, you will make a decision that future you will be deeply grateful for. I am not talking about making a huge investment or taking a financial risk. I am talking about the opposite. I am talking about the quiet, boring, responsible decision that does not feel exciting but changes everything over time. The kind of decision that no one will applaud you for. The kind that does not make a good story at dinner. But the kind that builds a foundation so strong that 6 months from now, you will look back and realize this was the week things started shifting. Leos often avoid financial housekeeping because it feels small. You are wired for big moves, big visions, big impact. Sitting down with a spreadsheet or calling to negotiate a better rate on something. That does not light your fire. But here is what I need you to hear. The big vision you carry cannot stand without a stable foundation. And that foundation is built one small financial decision at a time. So push forward this week. Pick the one money-related task that makes your stomach tighten when you think about it. That tightening is not a warning to stay away. It is a signal that growth lives there. Face it, handle it, and then move on with the relief of knowing you did what needed to be done. There is also something deeper here. When Leos avoid financial decisions, it is rarely about the money itself. It is about what the money represents. Control, security, self-worth. And when you finally face that decision you have been dodging, you are not just fixing a number on a screen. You are telling yourself that you are capable of handling the hard things. that you are not the kind of person who hides from reality, that you trust yourself enough to look at the truth, even when the truth is uncomfortable. That internal shift is worth more than any dollar amount, and this week it is available to you. All you have to do is stop avoiding and start acting. One decision, one conversation, one honest look at the numbers. That is all it takes to unlock a cascade of financial confidence that will carry you through the weeks ahead. Tip 4. Pause overcommitting to social obligations. Your calendar might be filling up this week. Invitations, requests for your time, people wanting to meet, events that seem important. And because you are Leo, your instinct is to say yes. You love people. You love being part of things. You love the energy of connection and celebration. But this week, every yes that is not a genuine, wholehearted yes is a theft from your future self. Let me explain. The energy right now is asking you to consolidate, not expand. It is asking you to go deeper with fewer people rather than wider with many. And when you overcommit socially, you spread yourself so thin that none of your connections get the real you. They get the tired you, the distracted you, the version of you that is already thinking about the next obligation while sitting in the current one. That is not generosity. That is people-pleasing disguised as kindness. And this week, the universe is gently but firmly asking you to stop. Here is a simple test for every invitation or request that comes your way this week. Close your eyes and imagine saying yes. Does your chest expand or contract? Does energy flow in or drain out? That physical response is your truth. Your body knows before your mind does. If saying yes makes you feel heavy, that is a no wrapped in obligation. Honor it. I understand the fear. Leos worry that saying no will make people think they do not care, that they will be seen as selfish or unavailable. But the opposite is true. When you say no to the things that drain you, you have more to give to the things that matter. The people who truly love you would rather have 2 hours of the real you than an entire evening of the exhausted, distracted version. This week, practice the pause before the yes. Give yourself permission to say, "Let me think about that and get back to you." That small delay creates space for honesty, and honesty is the only foundation strong enough to hold the kind of relationships you actually want. Stop filling your schedule to avoid sitting with yourself. The stillness is not your enemy this week. It is your greatest teacher. And notice what happens when you create space. Notice how your breathing changes. Notice how your creativity returns. Notice how the conversations you do have become richer, deeper, more meaningful. That is the gift waiting on the other side of every no you are brave enough to speak. There is also something worth mentioning about the guilt that follows a no. Many Leos feel that guilt like a weight on their shoulders. They say no, and then they spend hours wondering if they made the right call, if the other person is upset, if they damaged a relationship. Let me ease that burden for you right now. The guilt is not a sign that you made the wrong choice. The guilt is a leftover pattern from years of believing that your worth is tied to your availability. It is an old story, and this week you are writing a new one. The guilt will fade. The energy you reclaim will not. Tip 5. Push forward with a difficult conversation. I know what you might be thinking. You just told me to pause explaining myself, and now you want me to have a difficult conversation. But these are not the same thing. Explaining yourself is about defending your past actions. A difficult conversation is about building your future. And there is a conversation you need to have this week that you have been carrying around like a stone in your pocket. Maybe it is with a family member. Maybe it is with someone you work with. Maybe it is with yourself standing in front of the mirror, finally admitting something you have been denying. Whatever form it takes, this conversation is ready to happen. The energy supports it. The timing is aligned. And the longer you wait, the heavier that stone becomes. Here is what makes this week different from any other week. The planetary energy around communication for Leo is unusually balanced right now. You have access to both strength and tenderness simultaneously. That means you can speak your truth without being harsh. You can set a boundary without building a wall. You can say what needs to be said without burning a bridge. That combination is rare. Most weeks, you either have the fire to speak but not the grace to be gentle, or you have the gentleness but not the courage to be honest. This week you have both. Do not waste that. The key to this conversation is starting with what you want to build, not what went wrong. Instead of opening with a complaint or a grievance, open with with a vision. Tell the other person or tell yourself what you want the future to look like. Then work backward from there. What needs to change to make that future possible? What needs to be said that has been left unsaid? When you approach difficult conversations from a place of building rather than blaming, something remarkable happens. The other person drops their defenses. They stop preparing their counterargument and start actually listening. Because you are not attacking them. You are inviting them into something better. And most people, when given that invitation with sincerity, will accept it. But here is the part most people miss. The most important difficult conversation you can have is the one with yourself. The one where you finally admit what you want. Not what is practical or responsible or expected of you. What you actually deeply want. That conversation might bring tears. It might bring relief. It might bring both. But it will bring clarity. And clarity is the most powerful fuel a Leo can have this week. So push forward. Have the conversation. Speak the words that have been circling in your mind for days or weeks or even months. This week will hold you while you do it. The energy is supportive, the timing is right, and you are stronger than you think. And one more thing about difficult conversations that most people never consider. The relief that follows is almost always bigger than the fear that preceded it. Right now, the conversation feels like a mountain. But once you have it, once the words are out and the air is clear, you will wonder why you waited so long. That relief is not just emotional, it is physical. Your shoulders will drop, your sleep will deepen, your appetite might even change. The body holds tension from unspoken words, and when those words are finally released, the body releases too. This week, give yourself that gift. Speak the truth and feel the weight lift. Tip 6. Pause the habit of measuring your progress against others. This is a quiet poison that many Leos carry, and this week it needs to stop. You look at what others are doing. You see their milestones, their celebrations, their seemingly effortless success. And even though you are genuinely happy for them, a small voice inside whispers, "Why not me? Why am I still here while they are already there?" That voice is lying to you. Not about the gap. There may well be a gap between where you are and where they are. But it is lying about what that gap means. It does not mean you are behind. It does not mean you are less capable. It does not mean you missed your window. All it means is that your timeline is different. And this week, the universe is going to make that very clear if you are willing to see it. Here is what comparison actually does to a Leo. It dims your fire. And your fire is not just your energy or your ambition. It is your identity. When you compare yourself to someone else's journey, you are essentially saying that their path is the correct path and yours is a deviation. But that is not true. Your path was designed specifically for you. It has different terrain, different lessons, different timing, and it leads somewhere that their path does not. This week, every time you catch yourself measuring your progress against someone else, I want you to do one thing. Come back to your own body. Feel your feet on the ground. Take one slow breath and ask yourself, what is my next step? Not their next step, yours. Because your next step is the only one that matters. And it is waiting for you right now, patiently, while you waste time watching someone else walk theirs. The irony is that the people you are comparing yourself to are probably comparing themselves to someone else. It is an endless chain of dissatisfaction that leads nowhere. And you, as a Leo, were not built for that chain. You were built to lead. And leaders do not look sideways. They look forward. They set their own pace. They define their own milestones. And they trust that the timeline is unfolding exactly as it should. So pause the comparison this week. Unfollow accounts that trigger that feeling if you need to. Limit conversations that always turn into measuring sessions. Give yourself permission to be exactly where you are without apology. Because where you are is not a failure. It is a foundation. And what gets built on that foundation this week will surprise you. But only if you stop looking at someone else's building and start focusing on your own. Tip 7. Push forward with physical movement. Your body is trying to tell you something this week, and if you have been ignoring it, now is the time to listen. Leos carry stress in very specific ways. Tight shoulders, clenched jaw, a heaviness in the chest that has nothing to do with illness and everything to do with unexpressed emotion. And this week, the fastest way to process what you are feeling is not through thinking. It is through moving. I am not talking about intense exercise or training for something extreme. I am talking about deliberate, conscious movement that reconnects you with your physical self. A long walk where you leave your phone behind. Stretching in the morning with deep, slow breaths. Dancing in your living room to a song that makes you feel alive. Swimming, gardening, anything that gets you out of your head and into your body. Here is why this matters so much right now. The mental energy around Leo this week is intense. There are decisions to make, conversations to have, patterns to break. And all of that happens in the mind. But the mind without the body is like an engine without a chassis. It revs and revs but goes nowhere. Physical movement gives your mind somewhere to put all that energy. It processes emotion faster than any journal entry or meditation session. I have noticed a pattern with Leos who thrive versus Leos who struggle. The ones who thrive almost always have some form of regular physical practice. Not because they are fitness enthusiasts, but because they intuitively understand that their fire needs a physical outlet. Without one, that fire turns inward and becomes anxiety, restlessness, or irritability. With one, it becomes fuel for everything they want to create. This week, push forward with movement, even if it is just 20 minutes a day. Even if it feels pointless at first, your body will respond faster than you expect because the energy right now is accelerating physical recovery and vitality. You might find that a simple walk clears a mental block you have been wrestling with for days. You might find that stretching before bed gives you the best sleep you have had in weeks. You might find that moving your body changes the way you see every problem in your life. Do not overthink this. Do not research the perfect routine or wait until you have the right equipment. Just move. Today. Right now, after this video if you can. Walk outside and feel the air on your skin. Let your body remember what it already knows. That you are alive, you are strong, and you are capable of far more than your worried mind tells you. The physical and the mental are not separate worlds for Leo. They are deeply connected. And when you honor that connection through movement this week, you will unlock a level of clarity and confidence that no amount of thinking could ever produce. Push forward with your body and your mind will follow. There is one more thing I want to add about movement this week. Do not treat it as punishment. Do not use exercise as a way to burn off guilt or earn the right to rest. That is a toxic relationship with your body, and Leos fall into it more often than you might think. Instead, move from a place of gratitude. Move because your body is capable and that capability is a gift. Move because it feels good, not because you feel bad. When you shift the reason behind the movement, the results change entirely. You stop dreading it and start craving it. And that craving, that pull toward physical expression, is your Leo nature waking up. It has been dormant for too long in some of you. Let this week be the alarm clock. Tip 8. Pause saying yes to projects that do not excite you. This is different from the social obligations I mentioned earlier. This is about work, about creative energy, about the things you commit your talent and time to. And this week, you need to take an honest look at what is on your plate and ask yourself a very uncomfortable question. How much of this actually lights me up? Leos are capable of doing many things well. That is both a gift and a curse. Because when you can do something well, people ask you to do it. And when people ask you to do it, you feel valued. And when you feel valued, you say yes. Even when the project bores you. Even when it pulls you away from the work that actually makes your soul sing. You say yes because the recognition feels good, even if the work does not. This week, that pattern is going to become very visible. The energy is highlighting the gap between what you are doing and what you want to be doing. And that gap might be wider than you thought. Some of you have spent months or even years saying yes to projects that look impressive on the outside but feel empty on the inside. And the weight of that emptiness is starting to show. I am not telling you to quit everything and chase a dream with no plan. That is not wisdom. That is recklessness. But I am telling you to pause before you take on anything new this week. Ask yourself, does this excite me? Not does it pay well? Not will people be impressed? Does it excite me? Does it make me want to wake up early to work on it? Does it give me energy rather than take it? If the answer is no, then this week is not the time to add it to your list. Let it pass. Something better is coming, and you need the space, the energy, and the clarity to receive it when it arrives. The best opportunities of your life will not come when your hands are full of things you do not care about. They will come when your hands are open. This also means looking at what is already on your plate. Is there a project you can delegate, decline, or delay? Is there something you committed to out of guilt rather than genuine interest? This week gives you permission to reconsider. Not to be flaky or unreliable, but to be honest about what serves you and what does not. Because when a Leo works on something they truly care about, the results are extraordinary. And when they work on something out of obligation alone, the results are fine. But fine is not what you were built for. Pause the automatic yes. Create space for the work that sets your heart on fire. And trust that the universe will fill that space with something worthy of your talent. It always does, but only when you stop filling it with mediocrity first. Some people watch, others transform. If you want to be in the second group, the 21-day guide in the pinned comment gives you a clear step-by-step process aligned with your sign. This isn't about waiting, it's about moving. Tip 9. Push forward with forgiveness, starting with yourself. This might be the most important tip in this entire guide, and I saved it for near the end on purpose, because you needed everything before this to prepare you for what I am about to say. You are carrying something that does not belong to you anymore. A mistake you made, a choice you regret, a moment where you were not the person you wanted to be, and you have been punishing yourself for it quietly, consistently, in ways that no one else can see. Leos are often perceived as confident, bold, unshakable, and you are all of those things on the outside. But inside, many of you carry a merciless inner judge who never lets you forget your worst moments. That judge replays your failures at 3 in the morning. That judge whispers that you do not deserve the good things coming your way. That judge keeps you stuck in a version of yourself that no longer exists. This week, it is time to silence that judge. Not by arguing with it, not by pretending the mistakes did not happen, but by forgiving yourself so completely that the past loses its grip on your present. Forgiveness does not mean what happened was acceptable. It means you refuse to let it define you any longer. It means you choose to believe that you are more than your worst moment. It means you give yourself the same grace you would give to someone you love deeply. Because here is the truth that most Leos forget. You deserve your own kindness. Think about how quickly you forgive others. Someone hurts you, and within days or weeks, you are finding ways to understand their perspective, to give them another chance to see the best in them. But when you hurt yourself or fall short of your own standards, you carry that weight for months, years, sometimes decades. That is not strength. That is self-destruction wearing a mask of discipline. Push forward with forgiveness this week. Write yourself a letter if that helps. Speak the words out loud. I forgive myself for that choice. I forgive myself for not knowing better at the time. I forgive myself for being human. Say it until you feel something soften inside you. Say it until the tightness in your chest eases. Say it until you believe it. And then extend that forgiveness outward. Is there someone you have been holding a grudge against? Someone whose actions still have the power to make your blood boil when you think about them? This week, consider setting that down too. Not for their sake, for yours. Because every ounce of energy you spend on resentment is energy stolen from your future. And your future is too bright to be dimmed by old anger. Forgiveness is not weakness. It is the ultimate act of power. It says I choose my peace over my pain. It says I refuse to be imprisoned by yesterday. It says I am strong enough to let go and still stand. And for a Leo who is already so strong in so many ways, adding the strength of forgiveness creates something truly unstoppable. This week, push forward into that freedom. Let go of what haunts you, release what shames you, and step into the version of yourself that is not defined by past mistakes but by present choices. That version is waiting for you, and this is the week you meet them. Tip 10. Pause the belief that everything must happen now. Patience is not a virtue that comes naturally to most Leos. You see the vision, you feel the urgency, you know what you want and you want it immediately. And in many areas of life, that intensity serves you well. It drives you to act when others hesitate. It pushes you past obstacles that would stop someone with less fire. But this week, that intensity needs a counterbalance. Not everything is meant to happen this week. Some of what you are building is a slow bloom, a seed planted weeks or months ago that is just now beginning to push through the soil. And if you try to rush it, if you pull at the sprout to make it grow faster, you will destroy the very thing you are trying to create. This is one of the hardest lessons for Leos. The difference between strategic patience and passive waiting. Passive waiting is sitting around hoping things will change. Strategic patience is doing the work, planting the seeds, watering consistently, and then trusting the timeline. You are not doing nothing. You are doing everything. But you are also allowing the results to unfold at their natural pace. This week, the temptation to force an outcome will be strong. You might want to send that follow-up message one more time. You might want to make a bold move before the conditions are truly ready. You might want to push a relationship into a new phase before both people are prepared. Resist that temptation, not because the outcome does not matter, but because the timing matters just as much as the action. Think of it this way. A lion in the wild does not chase every animal it sees. It watches, it waits, it conserves energy, and when the moment is exactly right, it moves with explosive precision. That is your model this week. Watch, wait, conserve, and when the moment arrives, and you will know when it does. Move with everything you have. The belief that everything must happen now comes from fear. Fear that the opportunity will disappear. Fear that you are running out of time. Fear that if you do not grab it right now, someone else will. But those fears are not based in reality. The opportunities meant for you do not expire. The doors meant for you do not close permanently. And the timeline designed for your life cannot be hijacked by someone else. So pause that urgency this week. Breathe into the space between action and result. Trust that what is coming is worth waiting for. And know that your patience is not passive. It is powerful. It is the quiet confidence of someone who knows their worth and does not need to prove it on someone else's schedule. Here is something that might help you practice this pause. Think about something good that happened in your life that you did not plan. Something that arrived on its own timeline, not yours. A relationship, an opportunity, a moment of insight that changed everything. If you are honest, some of the best things in your life were not forced. They were received. They came when you were open, not when you were pushing. This week is asking you to create that openness again. To trust that the same energy that delivered those past blessings is still at work. It has not forgotten you. It has not moved on to someone else. It is simply waiting for you to stop clenching your fists so it can place something new in your open hands. When you learn to hold both the fire and the patience, when you learn to push forward and pause with equal mastery, that is when Leo energy reaches its full potential. And this week is giving you the chance to practice exactly that. This week is not about perfection. It is not about getting every tip exactly right or transforming your entire life in 7 days. It is about awareness. It is about paying attention to where your energy goes and making small, deliberate shifts that accumulate into something remarkable. You showed up for this guide. That alone tells me something about who you are. You are someone who takes their growth seriously. Someone who knows that the life you want does not happen by accident. It happens by intention. And every single tip I shared with you today is a form of intention. A choice to push where pushing matters and pause where pausing protects. Remember what we covered. Start your mornings with a decision, not a reaction. Stop explaining yourself to people who are not listening. Face that financial conversation. Guard your calendar from obligations that do not serve you. Have the difficult conversation your future self needs you to have. Stop measuring your journey against anyone else's. Move your body. Clear your plate of work that does not excite you. Forgive yourself and others. And release the belief that everything has to happen right now. These are not just tips. They are tools. And like any tools, they only work if you use them. So do not let this guide become another video you watched and forgot. Let it become the turning point. The week where you look back and say that was when things started to change. You have more strength inside you than you know. More wisdom than you give yourself credit for. More fire than you have been using. And this week, all of that is ready to work for you. If you let it, the energy is aligned. The path is clear. The only thing left is your decision to walk it. Trust yourself. Trust the process. Trust the timing. And above all, trust that the life you are building, one decision, one conversation, one courageous moment at a time, is exactly the life you were meant to live. This is your week. Not because the stars guarantee success, but because you are ready to create it. And a Leo who is ready is a force that nothing in this world can stop. You have two options after this video. Close it and hope things shift. Or decide that the next 21 days will be different. If you choose the second, the structured 21-day transformation aligned with your sign is waiting in the pinned comment. The energy is already moving, the only question is whether you are.